Hey, it's de4th's, yes, and today we are doing the champion stage pick'ems. Of course, this is the hardest major so far that I've ever had to do pick'ems for personally. Well, let's just go through the whole thing, and we'll get to the championship stage in a sec. So, challenger stage, made it through, did pretty good on the pick'ems. Legend stage, probably the hardest thing I've not only had to watch but I actually had to pick for. In recent memory, I only got 4 of them correct. All I can say is that for many teams, this has been a disappointing major. For other teams, this has been an extremely good major, and for others, I'd say actually all the teams, this has been a very inconsistent major. A lot of teams are not being consistent enough. Finally, we get to the championship stage. This does not make my pick'ems or having to make decisions any easier, which means this video might be a little bit longer. So, if I'm looking at this from a purely stat standpoint, actually I'm going to pull it up over here. A little easier. If I'm looking at this from a fully just like stat standpoint, who's going to like go on and who's not, shit like that. I have them all written down here. So Navi, 3-2. Overall, I think with Navi like being how they are, beating big in their last game, beating Bad News Eagles, losing to Liquid, losing to Cloud9, and losing to and beating Vitality. I think with the caliber of teams they played and the caliber of team that they actually are, this could be a massive shift. But the other side of the fence isn't so easy. The other side of the fence is Furia. So you have Navi, right? They're a pretty solid team, 4th best team in the world right now. 2 majors ago they won it. They're an okay team overall. They did pretty okay. Not great. They beat Vitality in like triple, quadruple overtime, like 25-21 or something like that. They lost to Liquid. They lost to Cloud9 in a comeback victory. Like, they beat Bad News Eagles and they beat Big. I think the better teams that they did play outplayed them, but the worst teams that they played had way too high of chances of actually coming out on top. And now we're gonna go over to Furia. And Furia, not only did they play a really, really good championship stage, they went 3-0. Well, just like Cloud9, they went 3-0. They are the hometown favorite here. They are the best Brazilian team in the world. They've been playing really, really well against the teams they were put up against. They came back against Spirit. I think they could probably do it. For a lot of these, it's going to be, I want this team to win, but the better the odds say, I'm going to go with this team. Navi haven't looked fantastic, but I think overall they're the better choice than Fury, even though no matter how much I want them to win, I want Fury to win way more than Navi. The actual odds and statistics for me personally don't say that they will. No, next match, Heroic Spirit. Again, this is gonna be one of those I wish this team would win. The odds don't seem that likely. Anyway, I think overall Heroic is the worst team, but with the teams they had to play at this major and how decently they actually have been playing, I think over Spirit, even if Spirit had some really, really good games, they had a really good game last game against Liquid. They played some really good games overall. I think the only really bad one they had was against Furia. I think that Spirit could definitely beat them, but I don't think it's very likely compared to Heroic just winning 2-1, 2-0. I'm going to skip this one for now because, in my opinion, it's the hardest one to choose. Actually, these top 2 are both incredibly hard to pick them. I've been sitting here for like 20 minutes trying to figure out which ones I want to pick and which ones I don't. And it's insanely difficult. I honestly just can't. I can't. Cloud9, very solid on the Legend stage. They had a 3-0. They beat Navi. They beat Liquid. They had a very, very good. Mouse. Not really surprised, but the surprise amount of dominance they've had is incredible. 3-0 in the Challenger stage. 3-1 in the Legend stage. They are a very solid team right now. I honestly, the only reason I'm going to pick Cloud9 right here at all is because I feel like the caliber of teams Cloud9 has played in this tournament and how much they've like had to fight to get to this point just is a little bit higher than Mouse. I feel like they might just want it more. And lastly, Outsiders Fnatic. This is the only one I'm having trouble with personally. I really want Fnatic to win this one. I wanted it. My 3 major winners, excluding my top 4 were FaZe because I've expected them to just go back to back and they really just shit the bed. My top 3 were like these like picks that nobody else decided I would be able to do, which was OG, Spirit, and Fnatic. Those are the teams I thought. Not only were they incredibly like gifted and their whole rosters were really coming together right before the major. They're both very good. They're all very good teams. They had very strong operators. They had very strong IGLs. They had very good play styles, and they all complement each other very well. I felt those 3 teams and FaZe could have all gone and won the major. FaZe obviously didn't. OG couldn't, unfortunately, but Fnatic and Spirit did make it to the playoffs. So I'm 2 for 4 right now, at least making it to the playoffs. Outsiders have been one of, if not the talk of the tournament. They are the team that everybody wants to talk about right now. Not only are they like incredibly consistent with this new roster that nobody expected them to even do very well with, but they have really just exceeded all expectations, going 3-0 in the Legend stage, doing incredibly well in the Challenger stage. They've blown past nearly every competition they've had. The Fnatic are a different kind of beast, in my opinion. They are a very strong team together. Mezzi's doing very, very good leading. The old boys in Crims and Roy are coming in full force. Nikadaz and Fasher are playing very, very well. This is the hardest one for me to pick. But as I've said before, for pick'ems, personal choices a lot of the time don't matter and they get in the way. Last time in the Legend stage, I picked Furia, and in the comments of that video, right after I uploaded, I changed my mind. I swapped Furia for Outsiders, and then I put Ents where Outsiders actually were. So I moved it. And I felt really, really pissed off because Furia went, and Ents didn't. And I was like, damn it. If I just kept my mouth shut and just kept this going, I actually would have had that. But I didn't. I'm not letting personal feelings this time get in the way. And I personally feel that Fnatic and Mouse and Spirit and Furia are all overall better teams that could absolutely just destroy the other 4. These are the teams I want to win the major right here. All the teams I'm not really picking. But when it comes to this pick'em system, I have to go with the odds, and Outsiders have just been the talk of the tournament so far. But if I want to give you any message in this video, it's this. The teams I am not picking for my pick'ems, Fnatic, Mouse, Spirit, Furia, are the teams that in this bracket I want to win the major so fucking bad. They deserve it. They worked hard. They're the underdogs in nearly all their matches. They deserve it. Now the time will tell tomorrow and the next few coming days if being deserving is also the same as actually fucking winning. Na'Vi Heroic. Consistency-wise, Heroic. Caliber of teams played, Na'Vi. But Na'Vi had a massive lead on Cloud9, and they threw it away. And for that reason, just that reason alone, I'm putting Heroic over them. Last time I didn't, this time I am. Outsiders Cloud9. This just keeps getting harder, I'm not going to lie. Cloud9 is a very, very solid team. It is a CIS matchup. And normally I think it'd be a CIS final again. Fuck it, I'm going to go with my gut and say we're going to go CIS final instead. Consistency. I don't think Na'Vi will actually throw this one away. Unless Someday Young just goes and fucks something up, in my opinion. Cloud9 Outsiders. I'm just going to go ahead and say Cloud9 overall have a higher caliber of player on their team. Outsiders is a very interesting team. They have a very hard way to play. But I feel like Nafty and Hobbit really just calling better together with Axel, Inters, and Shiro playing how they are and how they're fragging. I think Cloud9's fragging power beats the Outsiders' playstyle, which just drags games on and makes games really slow. It makes you really impatient. It's a very strong style. And it's very hard to beat, as they have basically perfected it for over. They've been doing it for years, since Vanguard or before that. But I still think Cloud9 just have better players, and I think they could definitely come together and win, as long as they don't choke like they have recently. They have done a little bit of choking back in the Challenger stage. They completely got rid of that in the Legend stage. If they keep that momentum going, I feel like Cloud9 could do something that both these teams want to do, is win the second major in their organization's history. And overall, Navi versus Cloud9. At the end of this major, okay, we're gonna be talking about the CIS and how either their matches were really, really strong or really, really one-sided. Okay. And when it comes to this, normally, I'd probably put Cloud9 through here. Just because, we got Simple to go on Navi and whatnot, but they haven't been playing that good. And that's exactly what I'm going to do anyway. Because personally, I think Cloud9's players are just overall, I'd take Exile and Shiro in many cases over, say, someone like Sundae Young or Perfecto or Bid. I'd take Exile, I'd take Inters, I'd take Hobbit, I'd take whatever. So I think this is what a perfect major would look like. But I'm not gonna get the diamond coin. So I'm sacrificing my players' intuition and dignity and going for my gut. My brain's saying, dude, this is really, really dumb, but I'm saying, fuck that. I'm not listening to my brain. This is probably the stupidest thing I think I've done, but I personally think all of these teams, this whole championship bracket, just watch tomorrow on Thursday and the rest of the matches upcoming. These matches have the capability and the possibility to be some of, if not the greatest Counter-Strike matches we've ever seen. Not only that, they have the ability to be some of the biggest upset matches in the history of CSGO. Any team can win this major. Doesn't matter what you put in your pick'ems. Any team could win this major. There is no clear winner, and there hasn't been since the start. That's why my pick'ems are so weird like this. Any team could win this major. Any team could win in Rio right now. Those are my pick'ems. This is death. I'll see you guys after the major. Peace.